What's in store for today? A sadly discontinued product from Barrister and Mann and a new brush from Frank Shaving. Hello again, Michael Friedrich here from beautiful North Carolina. First of all, a shout out to the North Carolina wet shaving meetup that occurred yesterday. It was great to see all of you out there. I did not have a chance to speak to all of you, but I did have a chance to chat with a number of you. It was great to meet up with some of the artisans like Peter Wolf and Chris Collins and Stephen Joyner, Courtney Brooks from Southern Witchcrafts. It was just great to see a number of products out there and great to have a chance to chat with a number of you there. And attendance was actually pretty good. I'm not going to show you any of the products that I picked up there today. We'll have to do that in a later video. But before we go on, I also just want to have a quick shout out to Stephen Joyner, who's enjoying some rather delightful viral success on YouTube with his Jurassic Park egg video, where he made that big egg, turned that on the lathe with the, I think it's a mosquito stuck in there. That video is going crazy, and power to you, Stephen. I hope it continues to go and go and go. Well done. All right, for today, a couple new products for review. Sadly, it starts off with what I believe is a discontinued line from Barrister Mann. I believe that the Latha line, which is designed to be a easily placed in retail stores product line, it is a simpler shaving soap compared to some of the ones he has today for like the Reserve and the Excelsior soaps. This was meant to be more straightforward, simple to distribute, and sort of get out there in a wider distribution than some of the other soaps. This is the Lavanda, the lavender soap. Now, this is a tallow-based soap. I think it contains shea butter and argan oil and kokum butter, I believe. So this is still not like a really simple, basic soap. It's still got a really good ingredient list. You can see it here in the container. It's a pretty hard soap. I'll talk about the performance in just a minute, but as for the scent, this has a nice kind of a crisp, sharp, dry lavender scent. If you like the smell of lavender, this is a very, very nicely done version of that. Certainly enjoyed the scent of it all week. And I'll talk about the performance when we get into the actual building of the lather, because I want to talk about sort of the more value-focused soaps versus the more sort of on-the-edge artisan soaps, including from vendors like Barrister and Mann themselves. Today's brush is going to be an unexpected arrival from Frank Shaving. I received 2 brushes for them. This, I believe, is the finest Badger knots, I believe. I can't find a reference to this on their site, and there's no accompanying product ID or code with it, but it has this really kind of cool two-tone acrylic handle with this separator. I think it's kind of a cool look to it. Yeah, just a very, very nice, a nice different look for these handles. I'll talk about the performance of the brush obviously when we start using it, but first let's also talk about the razor. Today it's going to be the Fatip Special Edition. Now, there's the top cap, which is the one constant in this razor. I'm using a Persona Chrome. This came in the white wrapper, but it was loose. I don't know which one of these it is. Maybe one of the red ones. I'm going to use not the open comb base plate. I'm going to use the Testina Gentile version of the base plate. And the reason for that is, and by the way, you can see already on there, hope you can see that, how much of the special edition plating is already gone. So in terms of the way that this looks and holds up, I don't know that I could really recommend that, but it does look kind of cool when you put it all together. All right, so there's the base plate assembled. I'm going to put the washer on, obviously. I'm going to go for the piccolo handle because that's what came with the special edition. Now, the reason I'm using the Testina Gentile base plate is because shaves this week with the open comb version, the grande piccolo, the normal one, have been pretty rough, and I don't think it's a matter, it may be a matter of some blade alignment, but there may also be something wrong with that base plate. So I'm going to try with the Testina Gentile one and just see if the shave is any different, and if not, then it may well be the top cap that's screwed up. And I have the advantage of being able to kind of mix and match between a variety of those, so I can kind of figure out which piece of it is the part that's not completely right. Because the shave with that razor does not feel like the other one that I have. All right, I've wet my face. It's 2 days worth of growth. By the way, on a side note, let's imagine you're a person who shaves on YouTube once a week and people watch you. Okay, and then you go to a wet shaving meetup where the entire purpose of the meetup is to talk about shaving and to trade shaving products and to look at new products and try products and smell products. and you show up there like I did yesterday with a day's worth of growth because I still had to have enough to shave for today. Embarrassing, and I apologize. It is what it is. All right, let's get the brush wet. I have some of the Lavanda, that's kind of hard to say by the way, soaking in the, sitting in the Captain's Choice loading bowl. I'm going to start loading it up. This soap has, well, some real advantages to it, honestly, for just the overall way designed, the overall way the soap is designed to be used, and the way that it just works straight out of the box. It is very easy to lather. It is easy to lather in hard water. It doesn't take really any time to build. There's nothing special you have to do to make it work. It's just designed to work straight out of the container, right? There's no fuss, there's no muss, there's no special concerns about using the right amount of water or loading the right amount or kind of making it work. You can see what's happening already. I'm getting kind of on the side there. You can see that it's starting to build a dense cream, which is what you're looking for. And I'm adding only a touch of water to the soap, right? You don't want to overwater these soaps. You need just a little bit of water to really get any soap going. And by the way, thank you all for your comments and questions about soap blooming. I want to be doing a little bit of work on trying to dispel the myths around why people are blooming their soaps and try to, at least in my opinion, stop something that I think is really utterly unnecessary. All right, as you can see, getting quite a good bit of lather going there. I'm not going to overload. I'm going to load enough. I'm going to pull out some of the soap that's formed around the edge of the container there and just put that on the top of the brush. Wet my face a little bit. There we go, and off we go. Yeah, the beautiful thing about this soap is that it is just so simple to use. Scent is good. Scent lightens up a little bit and kind of opens up a bit as you're lathering. And it's not like somehow the soap doesn't have a scent when it's dry and then when you add water to it, a magical explosion of scent occurs. The soap smells strongly out of the container and it opens up a bit when you get it wet and start lathering, as is expected. Yeah, that already has a nice, solid, dense, creamy feel to it. Add more water. And when I say more water, I'm dripping a little bit of water on there. Yeah, this brush has a little bit of scrub to it, and I mean just a touch of scritch. But I'm talking like a whisper. It is not a very dense brush. It doesn't have a lot of backbone, so as you can see, it kind of moves easily from side to side, but it is not collapsing or falling over in use. All right, let's make some room for the brush on the edge of the sink. Let's go ahead and start shaving. Let's see what happens now with this Testina Gentile base plate, see if this is any better. Yeah, meh. Yeah, so there's very likely something then wrong with the top cap. Yeah, the soap is just, I'm going to use simple in the right way. This is a simple, straightforward soap that just does exactly what it needs to. Loads easily, does not require any kind of fuss or muss. You know right away, as soon as you start to lather it, that the lather is either right or wrong. And by wrong, I mean either you have too much loaded and not enough water added to it, or not enough soap and so it feels a little too thin. Both problems that are very easy to fix. Yeah, definitely something up with the geometry of this particular razor. And I'm still using, not a blade every day. I think this is the second shave on this blade. I used a Kai blade, two different Kai blades, days 1 and 2, Monday and Tuesday, with the open comb. That is not the right blade for that razor. All right, rinsing it off. Residual slickness is, I would say, middle of the road. I'm going to add just a touch of water to the brush. And let's keep going. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the lather line is discontinued. And I do not remember, and I apologize, I do not remember who sent me this soap. I'm really quite grateful for it because I think that it is just simply not available any longer. But honestly, I don't remember who sent it to me. And if it was you, and you know who you are, let me know so I can give you proper credit. There we go. All right, pass number 2. I'm trying to remember what other blades I used. Actually, I don't even remember, but those first two, the Kai, were not great. Yeah, I mean, I like the soap, and this I'm sure compared to the other ones, I'm not sure what this was retailing for, but I'm sure this was cheaper than the Reserve or the Excelsior soaps. Straightforward, simple, and just very effective. Really easy to use. And yes, I understand sort of the arms race that's underway now and has been for a while in the artisan soap market. But there's also a lot to be said if it were possible to build a market based on simple, straightforward volume sales. Easy for me to say, I don't have to make or sell the soaps. You know, part of the irony is that one of the reasons that I recommend wet shaving to people is that you have so many choices. You have absolutely every opportunity to find the exact right set of products that are going to work for you, right? You're going to find the right razor, the right combination with the blades, just loading a little more soap. You're going to find a soap or cream that you enjoy using, that's good for your skin. A lot of people, for some reason, don't use an aftershave, which I don't know why that is, but you have lots of options there for post-shave skincare, balm or aftershave or tone or whatever works for you. But it's a dizzying array of items. Just yesterday, looking at the PIF table, how many things were on that table? How many things people had that, just trying to explain to people that were new there what some of the things on the table were for things that people hadn't seen, it's just too much. So if you're a new wet shaver and you're trying to figure out what to buy and then someone shows you this enormous menu option of, you know, pick from the 1,000 following things, really hard to do. And that's where something like those Maggard starter kits are so effective. It really takes the guesswork out and you know that you're getting a set of products that you know are going to work. They're solid, simple performers, really no questions asked. And I still think there's a lot of benefit to that because honestly, what most people are looking for is exactly that. Give me something simple to use, simple to get into. Don't make me have to somehow become an expert on day one because that's simply not possible. Yeah, something not exactly right about this razor. Still getting a good shave, but it is not at all as smooth and comfortable as it should be. Congrats to Brandon, by the way, for winning the Dr. Selby, and I hope you love it. I was able to offer a couple items for door prizes at the meetup. Yeah, I'm going to have to experiment with the other base plates and the top caps on this razor from the other ones. You know, for science. Yeah, this just does not feel right. There we go. Done. 3-pass shave complete. You may be doing a 2-pass shave and that's totally fine. You may be doing a 3-pass shave with pickups or cleanups. You know who you are, Paul H. For some of you, you may be doing what amounts to a 5-pass shave. Doesn't matter. You're shaving the way that you need to shave. All right, try to clear out the ears. Yeah, post shave on this is again what I would call good. It's not great. I don't think it's meant to be great. It's not meant to be a stellar post shave, but you know, the argan oil and the shea butter, those ingredients do help. Immediate feeling is a bit of slickness, but if you don't do anything, at least for me, soap is definitely a little bit drying. And that's not a bad thing, because in almost every case, if in fact the soap is drying, it's such an easy problem to fix. You just use a post shave balm. And there's so many of them available, and I highly recommend them. All right, what I'm going to do for today is I'm going to just wet my face a tiny bit, just dampen it up, and I'm going to close out the shave with a sample of the Chatillon Lux Admiral Aftershave. This was a sample handed out at the Magrid meetup this year, which I sadly could not attend, but a very kind soul has passed on some of the items that vendors were handing out there. The dispenser on this is kind of a slow drip, and so you have to sort of shake and bake a little bit. On occasion, if you hold it still, then it will begin to go more quickly. And it's one of those things where I tell myself to be patient, but I want this aftershave to come out because this is really, really good stuff. There we go. Ah, perfect. Okay. So I don't remember all the notes in here, but the ones that stand out for me is a distinct smoky scent, which is in there. There is sort of a musky undertone. There is a sweet kind of a vanilla. And then there's a bit of fruit in there, which I think there's blackberry in there, and there's bergamot. At least that's some of the notes. But for me, it's a really nice mix of a smoky undertone and a little sort of heavy but sweet, musky, fruity scent. Oh man, this just smells really good. And it's a toner. Now, this to me, compared to some of the others, this has a much more distinct kind of tightening dry down. Wow, that just smells really good. I have been rinsing my hands after applying it. You may not need to, but for me, that's just the particular feel of the aftershave with the toner in there. I like to rinse my hands afterwards. Whew, wow, well, okay, not bad, considering that razor head is not exactly as it should be. All right, my friends, let's bring this one to a close. Let's talk about it. Let's close out on it. Barrister Mann Latha Lavanda. This is a straight up lavender scent. Very nice, dry, slightly sharp lavender scent, a tallow-based soap with, I think it's shea butter, argan, and argan oil and kokum butter, I believe. Very simple to use, works great in hard water, easy to lather, good slickness, good protection. Overall, just a very solid performing soap, very easy to use. And you could recommend this to anybody starting off in wet shaving. And in fact, as you can see from the performance today, really great for anybody to use. And it's kind of a shame to see this kind of like simple, straightforward product go by the wayside, because I think this is exactly what people are looking for when they're looking to get into wet shaving. Something that smells great and it is easy to use every time. Very nice stuff. The brush with which I lathered from Frank Shaving. I have another one in the wings, which is a synthetic brush. This is, I believe, the finest nut. I think the handle looks kind of cool. It's a really interesting mix of these two different acrylic styles. Easy to hold. I am becoming less and less of a fan of like the little sort of half handles, but it is still pretty easy to hold. I sort of prefer the single shape. It is not a very dense knot. It has a little bit of side-to-side play, but it is not doesn't collapse in use. It's not overly dense. It's not too sort of loosey-goosey. Overall, really easy to use, and with just a tiny, tiny touch of scritch to it. Very nice option, and that will be going on to some well-deserving person as well as part of a future giveaway. Let's not forget the razor, because after all, you can't shave without one. The fat tip. This is the special edition, both the Grande and the Piccolo and the Testino Gentile all in one. Okay, not the Grande because it didn't have the Grande handle on it, but you know what I mean. Something's not completely right with that razor, but still that worked great. Not as smooth and comfortable as the normal versions of those are. So some research into that will be warranted, and I will report later. And then let's close it out on, oh my God, that smells good. It is the Chatillon Lux Admiral. Yeah, just another really well done aftershave, and I really, really like the scent. And I'm very, very glad that people were able to pass on a sample of this to me. This has been really wonderful to use all week. All right, my friends, let's close it out right there. Thank you again so much for watching. I really appreciate the time you're taking to watch these. And for those of you that had a chance to come up and meet me at the Wet Shavers Meetup and tell me about your Sunday routines watching these videos, thank you so much for watching, and really appreciate that. It's great to hear. Otherwise, of course, as always, please feel free to leave your comments and questions against this video or any previous video. And until next time, thanks for watching, and goodbye.